We have this from timcast.com. Protesters chant, "Send them back" at AOC during NYC press conference. An estimated 110,000 illegal immigrants have arrived in the city since 2022. This story is fascinating, and the video is even more fascinating. Take a look at this. You got to hear this. Let's play it.
Yes, and ultimately, I think that there are 3 points of consensus here that are very important in getting a solution to this issue. The first is that there is consensus here across geography and states on increased federal resources to cities and municipalities dealing with this issue.
There's consensus, all right.
Listen.
Authorization.
Okay, I got to play that again.
To cities and municipalities dealing with this issue. The second is to allow for work authorizations so that the folks in here can get to work and start supporting themselves as soon as possible.
AOC is abject evil. And you can hear these people screaming at her. And what is her response to them? Don't worry. We're going to give them work rights so that they can displace your wages, lower your wages, displace your jobs. Have a nice day.
They are prevented from getting jobs. They are prevented from employment. And that is part of the strain on our public systems. The faster that folks can access the work that they're asking for legally, the better we can solve this problem. And the third is extension of temporary protected status.
Look at this.
Who are the largest population that are arriving here. So with that, we thank you all.
She is so evil that people are screaming at her and protesting across the board in these cities. And what does she say? We're going to spend more federal resources on them. We're going to give them work rights and protected status over you, while they're screaming at her, send them back.
Are those her constituents?
Yes.
Hopefully, yeah.
So those are the people she's representing?
Yep.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
she's
you guys see
representing
Curtis
the
Lee
immigrants.
was, I mean, everybody, they're freaking out about it. Curtis Lee was been arrested protesting this a bunch. I mean, this is a big deal that there are actual vets that they're kicking out of hotels to put these illegal immigrants in. That makes no sense. Why would a vet that went and risked their life in Iraq be less likely to get social services than an immigrant from Venezuela?
I'm sorry to tell you, Alex Ocasio-Cortez, not you, Alex,
She
I'm
looks
happy to tell
sexy,
you,
yeah.
yo, you are not here to govern the world. An illegal immigrant, it's not your job. Your job is to protect and serve the United States and the citizens of the United States, lady. Get
Well,
it straight.
I think
that's not her job. The Democrats want us to just be one big globalist homogenous blob.
It's gotta happen slow.
She's a commie. That's why she's an international communist. Like, even though she's a representative from New York, she's a member of the DSA, and she's an actual communist. They don't believe in borders. They don't believe in nations. They think that if you believe in borders, you're a nationalist, and a nationalist means you're a Nazi.
Yeah.
She's a communist, and that's the reason why she wants to have all the free open borders.
When you say she doesn't believe in borders, you mean she just envisions them differently?
No. The Democratic Socialists of America think that there should be no borders at all.
But then you would have no states.
Exactly.
That's right.
No cities.
There's
Listen,
one-
that's what
that's
communism
correct.
is.
No
Very
walls.
hypocritical,
Ian,
yeah.
where's the...
Ian, that's
where's
what
the-
communism is. Communism is a global thing. Like when they say real
I get it,
communism
yeah.
has never been tried,
State owns
it's
everything.
because there has never been a full global communism. So when you say the Soviet Union was communism and they tried communism and it didn't work, then the communist reply is real communism has never been tried. And the reason it's never been tried is because it was not global. There was class, there was nations. And as long as that is the situation, it's not real communism.
The New World Order.
My favorite is when you ask a communist, like, what do they want? They go, I vision like Star Trek.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, you mean post-scarcity world where you can tell a computer to just fabricate something from from ambient energy, and it does. Bro, I'll tell you this.
They had property.
When we get to the point where we have replicators, and you can literally be like, computer, ham sandwich, and then it does, sure, we can have some agreements on labor reforms at that point, but spare me this utopian vision while 100 million people over the past, 100 some odd years were murdered in mass.
Even then, man, when that replicator's in action, who built the replicator? What is the replicator's code base?
Replicator built a replicator.
So is the replicator giving you actual water when you say
Yes.
water, or is it giving you something slightly different and it's
It's going to
telling
be
you that
slightly
it's
different.
water?
It's going to be
Hold
like
on.
Delta 9 weed compared
Hold
to
on.
real weed.
That's what I'm talking about.
Large, complicated replicators replicate small replicators. What they do is there's ambient energy they absorb, and then it fuses the particles together to make the appropriate elements, and then that's the world of science fiction. Hey, maybe one day we'll get there, and if we do, we can have a conversation about labor reforms, and then we can talk about how everybody just has unlimited food and all this stuff. And then what's going to happen is the communists are going to say too many people are eating food, getting fat, and having babies, and then you know what communists do? They do what they always do.